Yo, Happy New Year again. Today about to be reacting to the NBA needs to fix this problem. Now, could they be talking about shooting the threes or whatnot? Because offense definitely has fluctuated over time because competition is simply better. But let's see what he's talking about. Jimmy High Roller. How the Spurs be doing them. Chet is closer to Mason Plumlee. Nah, comparing Chet to Mason Plumlee is crazy. Do y'all know who Mason Plumlee is? Wow. AD is better than Giannis all time. No. Talking about AD better than Giannis. Argue with a wall? No. Get out of here, bro. SGA ref every game. Nah, that's a crazy picture. This is a crazy picture. That's a crazy picture, boy.
Y'all got beef? I'm like, beef?
Yeah.
Like, we're out there competing,
Chet,
but
he
beef.
hates you.
Kevin Love, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Al Jefferson, Drew Gooden, Josh Smith, Tim Thomas, Antoine Walker, Lamar Odom, Jason.
BS. That list is BS. He naming power forwards that's better than Draymond Green. Draymond Green has been playing the best basketball that he has played in his life. Y'all can say 15, 16 was his best years, maybe 17. Or, 15, 16, maybe 17. But these is the best basketball. He's shooting the three good. He playing good defense. And he more efficient. Come on now.
Horace Grant, oldest daughter.
The NBA season is in full swing, and it's about that time. We've got a new batch of hot takes to look at today. The good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious.
Jimmy High Roller. Nope. Not getting me with that. I watch your videos too much,
This
my
week,
boy.
Parents of children who
Hey
play
man, I'm gonna get an ad like when I get monetized.
If your child was sexually exploited,
to get to an ad.
abused,
Ain't that crazy?
bright future
Don't worry about it, y'all.
year.
Let's get to it.
With 2025 coming to an end, it's probably a good time to look back on a great year of basketball. Fond memories and bright futures. But instead, we're gonna do the exact opposite and dive into some of the hottest NBA takes the internet has to offer.
Really?
Beginning with this one that says the 2017 Cavaliers beat this year's Thunder. And this
Nah. I don't see that, bro.
just falls under the umbrella of X team from the past beats this year's Thunder, which is also just a
That's
subcategory
BS.
of
Now the
X player
2017 Warriors will kill them niggas, but the Caps, come on, bro. Come on.
the past is better than current SGA. The worst discourse in all of basketball at the moment.
Kyrie will get shredded by SGA.
It was the
Come
Thunder
on, bro.
aren't as good as the 2017 Warriors, then it was they aren't better than the 2015 Warriors,
They
and
not.
now they aren't better than the 2017 Cavaliers. I saw
Bullshit. BS. That's BS right there. I tell you.
someone
that.
say the Thunder
That's
wouldn't
BS.
even beat the 2013 Pacers. What?
Niggas just joking. They just want clicks and likes, bro. They doing this for engagement. Get on,
We
bro.
just give it a rest.
Do
I
it
knew
for
one day
engagement.
fans of 2010s basketball would eventually become the unks that downplay the pedigree of future players and teams, but I didn't think it would happen this soon. We are now the 90s old heads we used to despise.
Ain't that
How
crazy?
quickly we went from the Thunder are too inexperienced to the regular season doesn't matter if you can't get it done in the playoffs to, well, they won, but they barely squeaked it out over a mid-Pacers team. What exactly do the Thunder have to do to be taken seriously? Not only are they a great team, they do all the things we want great teams to do. They're homegrown, they play awesome defense, they're tough and physical, team-oriented ball, they don't rely on threes, they're deep, well-coached, composed. What other tests do they need to pass? I don't know who would
People won't even be satisfied if they win another ring. They won't be satisfied. You can't satisfy these folks. You can't. You just simply
matchup
can't.
between the 2017 Cavs and this year's Thunder. That Cavs team was really good, and they did win one game in the finals against the greatest team of all time. But I do know that the Thunder have one of, if not the best defense in NBA history. They're 10 players deep, they have the reigning MVP, and they won an NBA championship. To say the 2017 Cavaliers would give the best team in the league today belt to ass is also saying the 2017 Cavaliers are far better than any team in the NBA today.
And that's far
I
from
just
true.
don't
The Nuggets will kill them niggas. Let's be real, bro. The Nuggets. The Spurs. Come on, bro.
I remember at the time how people felt about that Cavs team, how they had many flaws, had an easy run to the finals, and were carried by LeBron. And as much as I wish it were true, prime LeBron does not conquer all. We have plenty of evidence for this. But this is just the way things go. People fall in love with a certain era, usually the one they grew up with, then in an attempt to preserve those memories, either completely rewrite or exaggerate what happened and tear down the new guys in the process. Do you know how many James Harden apologists have surfaced recently, praising his prime years and how unstoppable he was? And I
free throw this, free throw that, overrated. No. Harden was really like that.
But these are the same people that hated his game when it was happening, called him an unethical, foul-baiting playoff choker. The only difference between being hated and being loved is time. At the time, you know what people said when the 73-win Warriors lost the championship in 2016? That they were frauds. It ain't worth a thing if it don't got that ring. As if because they lost in the finals, everything they did that season was in vain. Fast forward 10 years, and people are now using the 2016 Warriors as the gold standard of excellence. But the Thunder have it even worse. Not only did they win a championship, they've come into this season with one of the most dominant stretches in NBA history, and they are still being discredited in the most creative,
That's because Wemby keep putting up fucking built. Wemby, Castle, De'Aaron Fox. Can't get past him. Come on, bro.
Ways imaginable. And in 10 years, I cannot wait to hear people say how incredible and historic and great the 2025 Thunder were, despite saying none of those things right now. We must refrain from becoming the thing we despised and give credit where credit is due.
Indeed.
I do not like the Thunder's antics just as much as the next guy, but it is okay to admit that they are a great team who could probably go toe-to-toe with just about any team in NBA history. Our next take says James Harden is more influential than Steph Curry.
Man, I almost said something to get me demonetized. Not even demonetized. I'm not monetized. I almost said something for them to restrict my channel. Do you know how stupid you sound? Do you know that a lot of people wouldn't be shooting? Teams wouldn't be playing what they playing right now if it wasn't for Curry and the Warriors. Steph Curry, Curry and the Warriors. Come on, bro.
As blasphemous as this may sound, there is some truth here. Steph may have single-handedly changed the course of NBA history more than any other player. On a macro scale, Curry caused a shift in the entire timeline of basketball.
Yes.
But on a micro scale, when you look around the league and the archetype of players we see today, you're more likely to see influences of James Harden, for better or for worse. The step backs, the physicality, the crafty downhill scoring, the ball-dominant combo guards, the ways in which players get their points, the foul baiting. In a perfect world, everyone would emulate what Steph does. But it's not a perfect world.
They can't do that. That's why they don't do it. They can do what Harden do. That's why they do it. Come on, bro. Let's be real here.
And there's no one else on the planet who can do what Steph does. Harden's game, on the other hand, is replicable for a lot of players. And it's effective enough to convert those players into Harden's successors. And this is probably where the natural course of the game was going to inevitably lead. But it was Harden who really perfected this ISO-heavy, change of pace, triple threat style of play that we see littered throughout the NBA today. In fact, it's such a popular style that it has become essentially the default for most elite guards.
So you saying everybody play the way they play because of James Harden, but that don't even sound right. That is what I'm hearing is it's easier to be James Harden than it is to be Steph Curry. So how can he be more influential? Come on, bro. Break it down to me.
Even from a historical perspective, Harden is one of a handful of players that changed the actual rules of the game and continues to have his tactics used by the league's best players. But Steph Curry is a singularity. He didn't just change the way players play the game, he changed the game itself. Not just with his three-point shooting, but with his emphasis on off-ball movement, his gravity from 35 feet out, and his demonstration as a smaller guard being the best player on a championship-winning team. And his influence will be felt long after he retires.
Indeed.
James Harden did change the game, but Steph Curry may be the biggest game changer in basketball history.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, we know. Hey, man, I'm going to get an ad block when I get monetized. Don't worry about it. But we listen to some absolute egregious takes right now.
Next take comes from Nick Wright, and it's an approach on the GOAT debate that I've never heard of before.
So I have a theory. If Jordan never existed, and the universally accepted greatest player of all time was Kareem, because that's who it would have been, a guy like Tim Duncan would be in the GOAT debate. What people turned the GOAT debate into was not who's the greatest player ever. It's who reminds me of Michael Jordan most. Which is why Kobe is probably a touch historically overrated, because he is the most similar to Michael Jordan. But because Mike was considered the GOAT, people elevated Kobe past a guy like Tim Duncan, who's just objectively better than him.
Nah, ain't nobody putting Kobe over Tim Duncan. If you put Kobe over Tim Duncan, then you don't know basketball. But that don't make sense. So you telling me, all right, it'll be Kareem. Cool. So you telling me it's gonna go like damn near almost a whole century without there being a great player in basketball? It'll go the whole century, nearly a whole century. We have to wait until whenever a good big come, whenever a Shaq come to compare him to Kareem, even though they don't even play alike. That don't even make sense, bro. In my opinion,
people ask that question, but what they were really asking is who's the most similar to Michael Jordan, and those are not the same thing.
Yeah. Nick is 100% right here. Jordan was such an overwhelmingly dominant and popular player that once it was established that he was the GOAT, the goalpost shifted to who is the closest thing to Jordan competition. Even things like what the greatest player should look like or what their role on the court should be changed because of Jordan.
That's why Kobe went ball. Okay, you right there.
Many things, but first and foremost, he was a scorer. And so scoring became the overwhelmingly largest indicator of greatness. How a player moves, Jordan was graceful and explosive, and so the next guy must also move like a cat and jump out of the gym. It wasn't who's the next great player, it was literally who's the next Michael Jordan. It was Kobe Bryant. Many fans will even use the logic of if MJ's the GOAT and Kobe's the closest thing to MJ, then he must be the second greatest player of all time.
Hey, now that you breaking it down to me, it makes sense. So what you saying is, me personally, I think LeBron is better than Kobe. So the goalpost would be LeBron, and I don't feel like nobody in history is going to touch LeBron. But the next goalpost is who is closest to LeBron or who would be better than LeBron. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense now.
Than a lot of fans, I do
that makes sense.
Plagued and hurt these conversations for decades now. Despite Tim Duncan's incredible impact throughout his career, the fact that he looked, acted, and played nothing like MJ certainly did not help his GOAT case. I think we're seeing this same issue with Nikola Jokic right now. Because his game isn't super flashy, he doesn't play above the rim, and he doesn't look like an ultra-elite, world-breaking basketball player, some fans just dismiss the fact
Ooh, that pass was clean.
When Jordan retired, he wasn't just the GOAT. He was the blueprint. And if you weren't built from the same design, you were...
If y'all had to build a team, if y'all building a team around Prime, LeBron, or Prime Jokic. Me personally, I'm gonna build a team around Prime Jokic because he gonna get everybody involved and get involved himself. This man's average a triple-double right now. Even though he just got injured maybe a couple nights ago, maybe last night. I'm building a team around Jokic. That's just the truth.
Be penalized for it. However, as time goes along and the average basketball fan becomes removed from the days of MJ's cultural gravity, I do think we are moving away from this way of thinking. Impact and greatness comes in many different shapes and forms.
Indeed.
Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. You don't have to resemble him or his game to be in that conversation. This is a great take. Now our last take comes from a disgruntled NBA viewer who says late game fouling has ruined the end of games. And I could not agree more. Watching the end of tight games these days is a special kind of torture. They say time travel isn't possible, but NBA teams manage to turn 30 seconds into 20 freaking minutes. The only time this strategy is used is during good, close games, absolutely butchering all the excitement of the moment. In the OKC Spurs matchup a couple weeks ago,
no, they're strategically playing. So you would rather see your team go out there and just lose, knowing that they could foul somebody and stop and like got more time to get a better shot. I don't know, bro. To each his own.
Game time lasted nearly 12 minutes. This was a great game for 46 minutes with what could have been an exciting ending, pissed away with timeouts, commercial breaks, and free throws. And right when you think the bid is up and teams are going to stop intentionally fouling each other and let the clock run out,
overtime.
Foul again, and now you're stuck watching another Wingstop ad. Look at the play-by-play of the final 25 seconds of this game. What have they done to the game I love? 20 fouls, 24 subs,
dang,
a single lead change to show for it. Intentionally fouling late in games.
I feel like the coaches are doing a great job. They're doing a phenomenal job. They're using it. They're doing what a coach is supposed to do. What they get paid all their money to do. That's what they're doing. With the coaches. It's like a chess game. It's like a 4D chess game. And they're using their pawns as they should.
It's been a thing, but it wasn't until fairly recently when teams started regularly fouling while up 3, attempting to preserve their lead. So now instead of one team fouling and the other team trying to avoid it by playing sound, disciplined defense, both teams are out there just chasing each other around getting fouls. Now, this shouldn't be a hot take, at least I don't think it should, but there are still
Me neither.
fans who believe this is a legitimate strategy that shouldn't take a backseat to our viewing experience. That the priority of these teams is to win, not consider.
But if your team didn't foul, you'll be upset. You know what I'm saying? You can't win or lose these people. Therefore, you as a coach, do keep on doing what you're doing.
It is for those watching. And this is a legitimate strategy, and I do agree to an extent. That extent came and went a long time ago. Winning has always been a priority in the NBA, and that has never stopped the end of games from being entertaining before. A lot of people don't think this is a problem that needs to be fixed. But if we were trying to fix this issue, some plausible solutions may be once the clock reaches a certain point, say 1 minute left, the team getting fouled gets 1 free throw and possession. Another suggestion some fans have made is 3 free throws on any intentional fouls committed.
Man, that's stupid. Why would you give anybody 3? No. If I'm down 4, I'm gonna go intentionally foul. Just to, you know what I'm saying?
Beyond the three-point line within the final minute of game time. But virtually every possible solution offered up inherently penalizes the team with the lead. So it doesn't look like this strategy.
I think it's good how it is.
You don't see this tactic play out in every close game. But when you do,
Look at Giannis, man.
buddy, because you're about to witness a 30-minute ad break with some occasional free throws. This is a great take. But let me know what you think. Share your hot takes in the comments.
Honestly, bro, with the last one, I don't really see nothing wrong with the fouling, because it's a strategic way to keep your team in the game. Everybody playing to win, so why not play strategically? That's like saying you should limit the threes that everybody can shoot a game because it's making the game less fun. No, just find a different strategy, or have your team go up 50 points. That's just my personal opinion, bro. But let me know which one of these hot takes do y'all disagree or agree with the most. Honestly though, I agree with the Michael Jordan one. At first I was kind of reluctant on the thought, but then it makes sense because the next person gonna be, or when LeBron retires, they're gonna look for who's better than LeBron, you know, or who can equal up to LeBron. And if that ain't the case, they're just gonna put Wemby as the face of the NBA and make him the standard, you know. I feel like that's what the NBA is leading towards. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.